On this episode of TrailCam, I leave the river crossing behind to check out a couple different conservation areas. These areas are much further from my house, but they are also much more remote. Both of these areas are over 1,000 acres. I'm hoping that I can get lucky enough to find a big buck.
And probably a wasted hunt.
My name is Cameron Hull. I'm a husband, father, and outdoors enthusiast. I'm a map maker by trade and an outdoorsman by passion. I wanted to share this passion with my friends and family. I'm not a professional outdoorsman, and by most standards, I'm not even very good.
Well, that's pretty exciting.
I hope you enjoy this series as much as I've enjoyed creating it. This is TrailCam.
This has been an absolute disaster. It's like the 18th of December. It's a Friday. It is windy, blowing wind. It's got to be 20 to 25 out of the south. It warmed up. It was cold, which I was really looking forward to. Like we're talking in the 10 digits, 17, less than 20 degrees. It's warmed up now. It's like 40. It's got a big wind, so it does have a chill factor for that wind. I went to a different spot today. I found about this spot from a game warden contact that I have. He said it's been really producing a lot of deer lately. So I'm gonna just hike back in here and see what I can see. And it's about 1,500 acres. It's just got a lot of forest, a lot of timber. So I'm just gonna see what I can see. You can see it's got a lot of good hardwoods right there, some oaks, some other stuff in there. So really excited about this spot. They are doing some work on this property, so I kind of got to keep an eye out for that. But from what the game warden says, I shouldn't have a problem. Staying away from them. I think they're more over that way. And I'm gonna go south here. I'm walking into the wind. I'm gonna have a lot of good wind cover. So it should be a pretty good hunt. Today's just a fact-finding mission. I do have the bow on there, just in case. Gotta have it. You're not hunting if you don't have it. But today is really just a fact-finding mission. I'm gonna see if I can see one or two today. I'm gonna try to get into some thicker stuff. I'm just gonna walk, do some looking. We go real slow. Once I get to where I'm looking for, I'm gonna try to meet feet here to get there. Just really want to make the best out of it today. So we'll see what happens. Well, it's a pretty good property. Seeing a lot of signs, a lot of trails. Seeing a few rubs. Definitely think there's some deer in here. The challenge is where are they? Ran into a couple arborists here. They're doing some tree culling, trying to get some of the wind-blown stuff out of here. They're good guys. So if you guys are watching this, good to see you guys out there. Appreciate the tips. And hopefully you can see me shoot something on this channel. So we'll see what we got going on.
This was a very nice property with fresh deer signs. I bumped 2 big toms, but I didn't see any mature bucks. I'm glad that I went over there, but without a definitive spot for me to set up and a 3-hour round trip, I didn't come back here the rest of the season. I think it'd be a pretty cool spot to do a camping hunt and spend a few days. But for now, I'm going to grab my bicycle and head to a 5,000 acre conservation area near my hometown.
Whoa.
here on the bicycle, and we're making my way down the trail to kind of where I wanted to look out. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we'll see. I'm looking pretty good. I don't really like this spot. It was different than I kind of had in my mind whenever I said the plan to come here. I don't really know what I want to do. I've kind of seen what I need to see. I don't know what to do. I don't really want to sit here any longer because I just don't think I'm going to see anything here. Kind of out in the open, kind of exposed. I can't really see as much as I was expecting to see. And I kind of thought I was going to have a bigger drop down to that spot over to the right. I've only got about 30 minutes until sunset. About an hour shooting light. So you probably don't want to get back in here too far. Holy smokes. The thermals are crazy here. I was literally just thinking to myself how cold it was and how it's going to be kind of a crappy bicycle ride. And then I started coming up this hill by this pond, and I bet It felt like I was walking into a house. That's how warm it was. It's been 65 so here, so I knew it was getting colder because the sun was going down, but I didn't realize it was going to drop down that fast. Look what I just found. A deer trail. That's huntable intel. Little doe just came out. I don't know, probably 10 yards from us.
The weather had taken a turn and the wind was crisp. Despite having several layers on, I still managed to get pretty cold. There was a creek that intersected the conservation area and ran the entire length from east to west. The creek divided the northern 1/3 of the area. There was a lot of deer activity in that creek bottom, and corn and soybeans had been farmed earlier in the year. This was a reliable source of food and water. The trees and tall grass provided an impenetrable fortress for the deer. All I could do was watch them come and go from the ridge line above them, way outside of ethical bow range.
Watching a couple doe in this cornfield over there, kind of behind where we walked yesterday or a couple days ago. I really thought that there would be some more deer using this draw down here, but I don't know. Still got about an hour of shooting, so you know they could still come out. Deer snuck in behind me. Looks like they all have bald heads. But it's still exciting to be this close. Looks like there's 5 of them over there. So there's 5. Yo, yesterday was a really good hunt. We saw another 20 or so deer. While I was glassing, I saw 2 deer that looked suspiciously like bucks. All the does that I had seen that day in the previous hunt were all grouped up in groups of, you know, anywhere from 3 to 6 or 7. And these 2 deer were just solo, out by themselves. And so they're too far off to get a look just through the knockers. So I wasn't able to actually see him, and it was pretty low light because it was right at the end of the day when I saw him come out. And so I just have a feeling and a suspicion that they're bucks. And I saw a couple coyote hunters, they came out and they met at the trucks, and they said that they saw a little buck too. Got this ground set up, so I'm going to sit for tonight. I saw a lot of buck activity running across that tree line right there. There wasn't really a good spot for me to sit to try to watch, to see if anything would come out from over there, so I'm going to sit here and watch. It's not ideal because I got a lot of blind spots, but there's a deer trail coming from right past tall weeds. So I'm hoping that later this evening a buck will come out and feed out. And I'm thinking this is pretty close to where I saw that buck yesterday. So we'll see. I'm gonna just kind of watch tonight and kind of see if some activity happens. There's been guys really close to here shooting shotguns all afternoon, so I don't know. Might have stuff messed up for tonight. They may be just hunkered down until after dark. I was right about the bird hunters. Right there they are. And it sounds like their dog is way the heck down there. So that totally sucks because they're blowing up everything that I was watching, and I don't know what to do now. I don't know. What a bummer. And probably a wasted hunt.
On public land, someone will always be the asshole, and it's always the other guy. I suspect when the bird hunters watched me get out of my hiding spot, they probably thought that there's a dumbass right there. I didn't know it at the time, but this was my last bow hunt of the season. Not because I tagged out, but because I focused the rest of the season on the alternative method portion with a borrowed muzzleloader.